training beard hair has always been a topic of discussion and questions for a while now and likely forever will be. So I want to attack the question just kind of from all angles, really establish some definitions, and then go over some timelines and expectations. Hopefully that sounds good to you guys. Quick introduction. My name is Dan C. Bearded. This is what I do as a passion of mine. I just so happen to also have it as a career. If you guys appreciate any kind of beard content that I go over, especially this video, consider checking to see if you remember the thumbs up, the like button. And if you want to learn more and support what we do here for absolutely nothing but a moment of your time, totally free, please subscribe to the channel or make sure you are subscribed. Thank you for those of you that are newly subscribed and have been subscribed. So to jump into this, you guys, training beard hair, essentially getting the hairs to go in the direction that you would like. That's what we're going over here, and maybe even a little bit looser than that, training the hairs in a direction, period, that they don't naturally go. That's probably the better way to put it, because to answer the question, can you train beard hair? Yes. But for how long, and is it a good thing? We'll start with this. Every single day, I use heat on my beard. I use a blow dryer on everything, and then I go in with a heated brush on my mustache, under my bottom lip, and then sometimes on my sides. That is important. Is that training the hair? Yes, but for how long? Very simple. One of two conditions happen to end that training. That would be introducing water, and then the second would be sleeping. If I go 24 hours, my beard is no longer going to look like it did after I styled it. Once you introduce some water, it's going to start to get bunched up and get curly and do its thing. When I go to bed and time has gone on and that training from the heat has relaxed, it will settle back to normal. So I do train my hair. My hairs are right now going in a different direction than when I woke up. They're going in a different direction than when I got out of the shower and I put oil and I combed and brushed my beard. That is something that is more or less natural. And then once I used heat, it started to get it to the direction that I want and I like. But that's very temporary. This will not last. I've been doing this for over 10 years and I still train it on a daily basis because you're not going to get the thoughts that many people have where they say, hey, eventually will it just lay straight? Eventually will it do what it wants? No, because the hair that's growing in, which is constant, growing at least a ½ inch a month, for me it's like an inch a month, is not going to play ball like the rest of the hair. The way it exits the follicle, the way it comes out of your face determines whether it's curly, determines whether it's straight, whether it's wavy. Those things are genetic. If you are someone that is African American, for example, generally speaking, your hair is going to come out with tight curls. It's because of the shape of the follicle. That's not something that you're going to be able to train away with heat other than on a daily basis. Now, can we get hairs to go in an unnatural direction for a long period of time? Yeah, you could do things like chemical perms, where they're actually using chemicals to relax the hair. They use like really good marketing terms. Don't do that. In my opinion, in my experience, I haven't done it personally, but talking to people, reading the science behind it, you are going to kill your beard. That is not worth it. Heat is absolutely fine when done correctly. Don't consider user error. That's outside, right? Drinking water is a great thing, but there could be user error with drinking too much water. Using heat is totally healthy when done correct. I could make the argument that it's healthier than air drying. Got a video on that, a study behind it, but that's not what I'm about here today. Chemical perms, bad. Please don't do that on your beard. It's not even good for your head hair, but your beard is so much more coarse, so much more apt to be damaged from things like dye and chemical perms. It just doesn't work. But there is a training that can and will happen long term when it is a constant pushing on a hair, usually in a bad way. For example, if you wear a mask every day that's putting pressure below your jaw, that hair will stay like that for a very long time unless you act upon it with things like heat, trimming, and other aspects. If you are sleeping on one side and pushing your beard and not doing much to counter it, and you keep doing that every single night over and over and over again, and you're not resetting it the next morning with heat, Eventually that's going to train. If you have a job where you're looking down and constantly have your chin down, you're going to start to have some dips and waves that form, and those will be long term. The difference is you're doing that for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. That's going to be potent. That's going to speed up that process and have a longer timeline. It doesn't work like that with combing. It doesn't work like that with brushing. It doesn't work like that with heat. So can we train our beard hairs? Final answer, yes, but long term, not in the way that you would like. Short term, yes, but it needs to be almost a daily battle. Now, there's some of you that are like, Dan, why would I want to train my hair? You don't have to. It's not required. You don't need to do daily heat. You don't need to do things that are constantly changing the way your beard naturally looks. Natural is great and wonderful for some people, but everybody likes different things. Variety is great. I always get criticism of heat when I make these videos. People are like, why would you want to do that? Well, why did you cut your hair? Why are you shaving your head when you still have a little bit of that little horseshoe in the back? It's because it's what you like. It's because you want it to look a certain way. Just because I like to straighten my beard doesn't mean that it's any different than you and your lifestyle choices elsewhere. Just because you like to have your beard natural doesn't mean that it's any better or worse. That's awesome. We should all be different. That's what makes this world a beautiful place. That's where I'll end this one, you guys. Down below, any questions, any experiences, any comments from yourself. You guys know I love to read and respond to every single one. My name's Dan C. Bearded. I hope that helped out somebody today, or at least gave a little bit of food for thought. Please stay bearded and stay positive.